Hi guys, I'm Caitlin and this is Book Chats, and today is my first struggles, successes, and soon-to-bes of the new year. I know it's the end of April, it's not really the new year anymore, but I had kind of fallen off of these and I thought I would definitely wanted to prioritize doing these again. So, starting with successes. I'm going to give a heads up right here. A lot of the successes I had in April, very exciting though they may be, are things that I can't actually talk about yet for various reasons. And so they're really more soon-to-bes than successes. It's in multiple places. But all of that being said, I thought I would try to provide a brief overview of the highlights of the last 4 months. Obviously, this is heavily edited and there's a ton of stuff that didn't make it in here, but here are my biggest successes when I think about 2017. Hamilton. I got to see Hamilton on stage in Chicago. It was amazing. I've already done a whole vlog about it that will go up before this. I have started knitting again. What you might not know is that I used to knit a lot, especially in college, to de-stress, and I haven't been knitting since I moved to San Antonio for various reasons, and I ended up buying some knitting needles off a coworker, and really nice set of interchangeable knitting needles, and I started knitting again. A little bit of a struggle because I was supposed to be done with this already by now, but you know what? I'm going to finish it a little late, and it's fine because Stephanie loves me anyway. But I have been knitting this since like the beginning of April basically, and it, if you don't know, is the Newt Scamander version of the Hufflepuff scarf for my wonderful friend Stephanie, who is supposed to be getting it for her birthday. You might have noticed that the books behind me on my shelf are gift wrapped. I swiped this idea from Sylvia from Wish Fulfillment. I will link her channel down below because it's amazing, and this idea was part of that binge. Basically, she has wrapped like all of her TBR books that she hasn't read yet that she owns. She gift wraps them, and she like categorizes the gift wrap, so like this gift wrap means something different than this gift wrap means something different than this gift wrap. And then like when she needs a new book to read, she just pulls them off of her TBR and she gets to unwrap them. And I have been trying for a while to read more of the books that I own and have been struggling with that and struggling to do that. And like this month I was like, I'm not going to read any library books. I'm going to return them all to the library, which you might have seen in a vlog I posted at the beginning of the month. It was a lot of books and it's very hard not to go to the library. But I didn't read any more of the books that I owned. I read like half of the book that I owned so far this month. So this is like my last ditch effort to get myself to read the books that I own. And one of the things that Sylvia does that I'm definitely going to do is, even already while wrapping them, when I look at it, I'm like, do I really want to read this book? Am I really going to read it? And if I unwrap it and I'm really not interested, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to get rid of it. That is what is going to happen with all of this. But, well, I'll talk about that in my soon-to-bes, but this will come up again. What else did I do? Oh, tithing. I don't know if I talked about this. I think I didn't because I wanted to not talk about it as a struggle until I turned it into a success. Well, now it's a 4-month success. I am tithing again. I didn't tithe all last year. I struggled to tithe the year before that because I was like in and out of having an income, and all last year I felt like I should be, and I just felt guilty about not doing it. This year I just stopped with the excuses. When I get my paycheck, I write a check that day. It goes to my church. I have had a lot of stress about money over the last 4 months, but I have not at all regretted my tithe. And there's a lot of things around tithing that like are details and blah blah blah, but the one expense that I really don't regret at all is my tithe and the money that I give to my church every month, and I feel like this is a huge success for me. Also, one of the reasons I've had a lot of struggles with money over the last 4 months is that I was accelerating some of my loan payments because I had been paying an income adjusted payment, and I was trying to cut more of my like spending down so I could put more money towards it so I won't be paying my loans for the next 50 years. And I managed to finally pay off the last of my undergraduate loans, so now I only have graduate school loans. I have a ton of them, so it's not like amazing, but it made me feel really good to have that satisfaction of being like, yes. And I was really lucky. I had very little debt coming out of undergrad, so I don't know what it's like for other people. It's gotta be a lot harder, but my graduate student loans, stressful, guys. What else have I done? I updated my resume, which is a thing that you should do periodically if you have a job, even if you have a relatively stable job like mine. It gives you an idea of what the scope of your job is, of what you actually do. It helps you when you talk to your coworkers and your bosses to really define what your role is. But it's really hard, and that's why I was delaying. Like, I literally had not updated my resume since before I had the job I have now, which I've had for about almost 2 years now. And like, that's ridiculous. So I went through and I talked to some of my coworkers, and I really thought about what I did, and I updated my resume just so that next time, obviously every time you actually apply for a job, you need to rewrite your resume to be for that specific job posting. But this way I have a framework to build off of that is current and not 2 years and an entire career field away. There are exciting things to come that I hopefully will be able to talk about in the future. And they were successes for me. And sometimes successes are just as simple as taking a risk that you would be scared to otherwise. And so don't forget to count those as successes, even if the risk doesn't pay off in the way you'd like. Struggles. I've had a lot of struggles over the last 4 months, but they all tie back to feeling like a failure. I have struggled a lot with feelings of failure in my paying back my student loans and being really stressed about money, crying about money, in working at my job and really struggling with what my job is and what I do, and am I doing a good job of progressing in my career, and do my bosses recognize my work, and is my work progressing, and am I challenging myself, and then just like, am I failing in my channel and like not making these videos and not making the videos I wanted to make for you guys? Am I failing in the way that I interact with the people in my life? I had just struggled a lot with feelings of failure, to the point that I was like crying about being a failure, like cry more than I should probably about my life and the things in my life, and I don't recommend it. I still struggle all the time with feelings of failure. One of the big things is I shouldn't necessarily need that outside affirmation in order to like not feel like a failure. Like, putting my self-worth in my job or in the things other people say about me is really not healthy. And so one of the things I want to work on that I'm struggling with is like being affirmed by God, by my relationship with God, and being a child of God, and seeing that as my worth and not the things that I do in this world or the ways that I manage my finances. Even my like idea of failure, like these are things that I just need to internalize, that like not every failure is bad, that my worth is not tied to my sense of success or failure, and just like cherishing the failures that end up being life-changing in positive ways. So that is the summary of my struggles for the last 4 months, and probably for some of the months ahead. Soon-to-Bes. So the first thing is that my birthday is next Friday. I'm really excited. It's May 5th. We'll actually not be in town for my birthday. I will at the end of the day, but I'm going to a conference that is sort of related to work for the entire next week, and so I will be driving back from that on my birthday, and it'll be exciting. And I'm going to New Orleans for the conference, and I've never been to New Orleans before, so I hope that it turns out well. I'm really nervous about the conference in general, and whether or not it will be like useful for me and my career and my professional development. I hope so, because of things, but we'll see. And I think it will be a great opportunity to really get to know / bond with my female coworkers who I'm going with. In the month of May, I'm going to be traveling a lot, and my channel will probably suffer from it, and my reading will definitely suffer from it. I am traveling that first week for the work thing, and every spare moment I will be working. This last like week and a half in May, I'm going to be first at a wedding for a cousin, and then overseas. And especially when I'm overseas, I'm going to be like totally checked out. When I go overseas, I totally check out. I don't like check any of my social. I don't check my email. I don't interact. I don't even call my parents, but they'll be with me, so it'll be fine. But like in the past, when I've been traveling alone in Europe, I don't even bother to call my parents, and people are like, how do your parents not freak out? And I'm like, I don't give them an option. I don't give them an option. My parents are really chill though. They know that they were way more risky when they were my age than I am, and so I think like they've accepted that I am a relatively cautious person, and they gave me all the knowledge they could, and God is going to take care of me, and if he doesn't, then I'm in his hands anyway. So that's really morbid, but sorry, that's how I see it. What else? In June I'm going to VidCon. I did decide I'm definitely going to VidCon. It was like something that was really stressing me out in March, but by April I was like, yes, I'm doing this. The gift wrap books. So one of the things I want to mention is that now that I have done this, I might actually do a bookshelf tour for my channel. So I have in the past avoided doing a bookshelf tour because there were so many books on my bookshelf that I hadn't read, and I just felt like, what exciting thing can I say about that? Like nothing. But now that I have all these wrapped, I actually have 3 huge stacks that are still waiting to be wrapped, guys. But now that I have all these wrapped, I think that I would do a bookshelf tour, and I would just tell you in the bookshelf tour what the different wrapping papers stand for and what these bows mean. And then I would show you like the unwrapped books, like obviously my little Bone Gap collection over here. Like those I could go into more detail about and tell you more about. And then like I would just gloss over very quickly the unwrapped books, and it'd be really fun. So that is the plan. Hopefully. Obviously these videos, like the successes, struggles, and soon-to-bes videos, are coming back. This one was the biggest, getting over that hurdle, but like next month I will have all of the crazy of May to talk about, and it's going to be awesome, and I'm very excited. I will at some point in the next month be getting a new computer. The computer I have now is dying. I took it in to see what it would cost to be repaired, and it would be like $600+ to be repaired, and the computer is 5 years old, so I'm going to be getting a new one instead. I'm seriously considering getting a Surface Pro, so if that happens, I'm going to have to learn a new editing software, or hope that this one doesn't totally die and I can still edit on that. So we'll see what all will go into that, and I will keep you guys updated, I guess, about that. There are a couple things that are like soon to be that I just can't talk about yet. I don't have permission to talk about them yet, but as soon as I can talk about them, I will totally be telling you guys. They are really exciting things I'm very excited about. So that was very redundant, but whatever. You guys are on my channel, you know I'm cool like that. Also, I filmed a channel trailer, which some people have already critiqued. Feel free to send me your critiques. I'm not like sold on it being my channel trailer forever, but I figured that since I've been around for 2 years, I probably should have something. I didn't expect any of you guys to watch it. I didn't expect anyone who actually watches me already to watch it, but several of you have and commented. I just want to say I love those comments. Like, I appreciate them so much. And whether you have a critical suggestion or a like more positive suggestion, those are all things that I want to hear. So thank you so much for watching, for bearing with me through this first part of 2017 where I have really been kind of off the rails of my normal, and for putting up with just the ways I've been experimenting with this channel. I really appreciate you guys and the ways that you've stuck with me and the ways that I've gotten to know you over the last 2 years-ish, however long you've been watching and commenting and actively a part of my channel. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.